that's working. That's weird. I don't think I'm live. Oh, there we go. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and turn off the wallpaper. One second. That worked. And welcome back to the third episode of me trying to get through Final Fantasy XIV. Okay. Last we left off, we did a whole exchange of prisoners, and now it looks like the story is progressing. I think we might be leaving Doma for a future thing, or we might stick around. I don't know what's happening next. Let's find out. He is ready to proceed with the prisoner exchange. Oh, we haven't fully exchanged. Never mind. We're doing that now. It's been a week. I'm sorry. I've been busy. While we were putting our contingency plan in place, I left Hakuro in exchange of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. We'll see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank, not far from the cash room. Right now, last time we dealt with the whole amnesia plotline for that one person, and now we're doing the actual exchange. Okay. Dolmen Enclave. Alright, where are we going? We're going down here. And red. I think we're close to finishing these patch quests, but for the most part, we got to get through this, the rest of this Doman storyline. Do I have to land on the boat or on the coast of it? Here, there we go. Your party is assembled then. Aye, and ready for what lies ahead, I trust, lest there be a confusion though. The tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That and whatever else Asahi has planned. Regardless of the ambassador's intention, we will bring our people home. Yuguri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. Our ships await you at the Castrom's loading docks. She will see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it. It'd be hilarious if for the one time this actually didn't end in conflict and there was an actual proper exchange and all of this prep time was pointless. To just stress us out. It's not gonna be that way, but it'd be funny.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion. Welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken.
What is that?
This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
$5 says that she's turning into a primal right now. Hold it! But you know what's hilarious? The contradiction. The Empire just is allowing her to be turned into a primal, or 7-1.
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh.
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
Ah, I see. The hypocrisy was a plan to make it show that they're deemed enemies because she's part Doman. Or she's Doman. Okay. Well, all talks of peace have ended now.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
Why?
You ask me to run?
No. Why? Okay, sure.
Spare my pride, would you? I know this foe is beyond me. The field is yours.
It isn't, though.
We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
Oh, I get to solo this bitch. This'll be fun.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail.
Unlikely. Not from you, at least.
Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorma. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Astrum Flemis now accessible. Oh yay! What fun this is. Give me a moment. Oh no. I don't have no backup. I'm going in with randos. Alright. Oh shit, it's an 8-person raid. We're gonna be here for a second. Ugh. That's not that. Alright. And this is why I'm a healer, folks. To make this shit quick. Even though the rest of the time I'm suffering. More than that last DPS. It's a shame there was no combat before this. I've forgotten how to play the game. I do that every week. There we go. Pool party. I wonder if they made this this primal specifically based off her.
Oh, it's going to be a long night. What?
So many things are happening.
Your end is near.
I'm glad we have multiple healers. Nope, I need to heal.
Beg for mercy.
I refuse. Oops, Tankbuster.
Your death will be all the sweeter.
Oh, I got staggered. Oh no, we're all practicing. Okay. Darkness. Vector of the Matriarch. I'm so glad someone can just summon Bahamut right now. Is that actually high? Ow. Oh, is that Xenos? Oh shit. Interesting. Oh, she's reverting back to her true form.
In darkness blooms the spider lily.
From mortal husk, I rise anew. Suffused with night, I shall prevail.
Beg for mercy.
I refuse. Oh.
In moonlight's chill shine petals pale.
I'm down. As you can see, I'm not a great healer. I am just the average healer.
Beg for mercy.
Thank God.
No. No. Not yet. Not yet.
I'll
Okay.
grind you under my heel.
Oh God, my tank buster? That's gonna suck. Oh God, I'm gonna die. They really don't like me.
I'll grind you under my heel.
Oh, thank God. I was just barely trying to stay alive at this point. I didn't even notice you could get like drew swords. I was so focused on staying alive. Nice. Victory. Yep. Which white mages have better chances? That's a high. The fuck? Like you're just looking to get your ass beat. Hey, look, a moment by which the tanks would also feel bad because they could have blocked that.
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer.
I did absolutely nothing to make you think that I hated you. You obviously hate me. I am indifferent to your stupidity.
Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
No, I would just kill you because you're stupid. You're the whole thing you're planning to, like, you've already stated out loud to all of us that you're betraying Doma by setting all this up. Anyone who is on the ground and in terms with the events understands that you're doing that.
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
You already burned them when you stated that the Domans summoned a... What?
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash.
Good!
This Dorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point.
Yes. And you've stopped... You've given me a reason to kill you. You've stopped any reason that would stop me from killing you just by stating that.
Mine.
What
The
should...
power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Doma. I would have repaid his faith.
Okay.
No one alive loves him more than I!
You know what? I believe you.
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Please tell me that was me. God damn it.
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied.
All of Doman's problems are because of these two. Or at least good 70%
You
of them.
should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength. Just for you.
What you doing? Just walk away. It would have been the greatest thing if my character just turned around and walked away. Yep, they kill each other.
What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
Yep. Why can't I say nothing? I was never a believer in Suyu, so I'm just gonna go with the first one. Itetsu will mourn you.
He will mourn to you, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Alright.
Lord Xenos.
Oh god, you're not dead? You should really learn to finish the job, Suyu. Oh my god, another flashback that's probably going to be inaccurate to what they're going to tell me it was about.
Lord Xenos.
Is this more recent? It is.
I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
Okay.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord.
So, this one gives me a better understanding of Asahi's, like, direct, being directly under the command of, the dude. And I'm like, but they couldn't obviously show this to us, otherwise we would have known the entire plan. I wish the prior flashback explained Zeno's
My
better.
My master, Lord Zenos, he will come for you.
Finally, he's dead.
You have prevailed, I see.
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Oh, we cleaned up the bodies for some reason.
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
It was non-existent.
Lord Hien!
Oh, hello.
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now. But our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here. But it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
Neither really matters which one. You don't really go around telling the dude that your boss is behind the plot. He already knows. Sure.
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Zenos giving these orders.
But how can that be? Zenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Zenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
I like how after we killed Asahi and Yoshio, everyone decided, yep, we're at peace now. Or at the very least,
Then let us
like,
be
disregard
about it.
everything that's
It would be a pity
happened.
to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Sorry?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
You mean our current and overwhelming enemy? Sure. I believe in you.
Tis not for me to stop you. But I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind.
Can't tell. This is an incredibly convoluted, in my mind. I'm sorry if I'm not getting the finer details. It's very hard to tell what is happening in terms of like the political relation to each other. Doma wishes to be what they were. They're a whole country to themselves, as they were with international, with their own, be able to like see other countries as equals, such as like the three city-states, and then Garlemald, recognized as a power, basically. In the attempt to, for whatever reason, Xeno sent Asahi to construct a piece to sort of help with that, but not really, because they had alternatives. In the prisoner exchange, and then getting back the Viceroy, they summoned a primal, an icon, and the point I thought was that it was a turnaround point where they said, we would never recognize you, we're just double downing on deciding your fate, effectively, by having this action during one of the first political discussions. And yet everyone here is acting on the assumption that it didn't happen, including the Empire dude, as if he wasn't aware of what was happening. Like, I understand that because Asahi's dead, which wasn't planned, he assumes control, but his last orders was to disregard Doma as its power, a country with power, and to deem them enemies, abandoning the exchange and informing the motherland. So yeah, that's what I assume would happen, but that's not how they're treating it. So I'm confused.
Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
At this point in time, the Empire has failed in any regard to their goals, save for the surface level that's retrieve our guys, which they don't really care about, or at least the higher ups don't care about. The people on the ground, like this dude, do care about the men that are captive. But to be perfectly honest, it's all confusing. That being said, I have no issues with this. If the exchange went as planned, so the way I joked about, by which they just made the exchange, all of the extra prep was actually unnecessary, and then conversations leading to Xenos being a possible imposter would lead to Alpha No going. That would make sense to me. Right now, it's confusing whether if he has any level of immunity diplomatically. I know Asio was playing some manner of treachery, but a summoning. Thank the kami you were here, my friends. None of us would have escaped Yochu's vengeance, and you had you not intervened. She was a pawn, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibun before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet awaits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. 'Twould be a shame to miss the joyous reunion. I was confused for a second, but it makes sense that they would be wearing the uniform of the Imperial Army. Because they were they get conscripted into work.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Ooh.
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Yep, that includes the enemy. Oh, safe travels. He deserves it. He deserves to retire as a samurai and find the rest of his life as he sees fit.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Domo without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh, and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
Goodbye. Yeah. One second. Alright. No Gosetsu. Very draining to you, my friends. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Kien-Kan. I would thank you properly. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I truly am. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, and one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and our people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think we complacent, I assure you I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of great concern, mayhap the gravest, yet this is a little... Yet there's little to be done, but wait for Alphino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu. By building a nation in which none need live in fear. I confess I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed you such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedies, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and Yocho's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. Foolishness. But I respect the man. After the loss of his family, Kosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardships, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Suyu would never truly replace his daughter, I'd hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the kami had been so minded, even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yoshi's fate, to deliver her from certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that surely have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. What I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl known as Suyu lived among us. And she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. And now talk to her. They seemed ready to bid farewell to Doma. Alright, we're finally leaving. I think it's time we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. Before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in at Rogger's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos after everything we went through together. We owe her that. But she's not a Scion anymore. Yeah, I guess you've been telling her because she's sort of one of the leaders of Doma. Or not Doma, of, fucking... What's it called? Alamigo. I don't know how. Yep. Nope, okay. Run! Run! Anything in the mail? Nope. Wasted my speed just to see the mail. Could have been halfway up that hill. Wonder what she's doing here, not in the main city. Broford, Elise, you're back. No Afano? It's good to see you, Elise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that the Xenos might still be alive. What? But this is a joke? Guys, this had better be a joke. Look, I know what I saw, alright? We all saw it, and they're saying he's alive, well, living in high life, living the high life back in Garlemald. I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. While I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Broford. He saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. That's all. No, it must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck, We buried him. Aye, and someone went to the trouble of just desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? All's gilded halls. Whatever are we talking about? Oh, there's him. Tancred. What brings you back to the Reach? Alphino had me lending a hand at the Soul Tree, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just until operations were up and running, and now they are. Thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to the headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is there some suggestion that the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? As much as I hated the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave, but if it will put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried at Bledo in the Lux. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked so as not upset the locals. And it shouldn't be too hard to find. Nago, you're in charge until I get back. Where's this? Gonna go dig up a grave. I wonder if his body will actually be there. It'd be interesting if they found him and like brought him back to life somehow. I think it'd be incredibly interesting if he was revived by the Asians. Oh, they said separated, but. This is it. God, he'd better be in there. Someone scrolled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. No one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied. Well then, we are presented with but one course of action. We had best be sure we are not observed in the doing of this, shall we?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Yep. He's alive.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
Oh no, we were seen doing this. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Why? Tancred! Look up! Jesus Christ. I know you have one good eye. There's no corpse then. Are we think the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xeno's resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alvin's theory of the Asian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. Saying an Asian is walking around in Xeno's body. It seems a distinct possibility. Once I put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay visits to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusion, I want to know for sure if a body was ever buried here and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Rawan needs to hear about this. If you find anything about it, send word at me once our robbers reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we were due another crisis. Shall I make for the Rising Stones then? Past time to share these developments with the others. Okay. Oh, I love it when they just teleport us. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Urianji over Ink Pearl and gave him a full report. Yashtilla is on her way and should be here any... At least Broford. Or Elise. It's good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Disturbing developments indeed, given all we know. I too would conclude that the Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Broford, nay, Alphino had the right of it. Though that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy stronghold and the shadowy web of paragons, like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in the position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Where does the story go from here, I wonder? Finally finished the Doma. I think we finished the Almegan one before. Oh, meanwhile in the Imperial Palace. Alright, this guy. I forgot about him. Varys Solgalvis. We cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead, and the right beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan. Every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. Oh yeah, no, he's definitely an Ascian. And his father knows. What is this? What are you fiddling with over there? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you? Have you lost your mind? You didn't even defend yourself, dude. Is this a Doman given his sword? Or is he... I have lost many things, but mine is not yet my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final blow, to find that the finale was but an intermission. Wait, is this Xenos? I use this chance to repent for my sins, embrace goodness and mediocrity? I think not. While the only one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. What is going on? Things are getting so confusing. The thoughts of Alphina's plight weighing heavy on her mind, Elsie might welcome some company. It's been an eventful few days, hasn't it? I suppose all we can do now is wait for a word from Alphina. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Tea would be lovely. You may regale me with a tale of your adventures in the Far East, and of the encounter with this new primal especially. I'll put the kettle on then. The table looks free if you'd like to take a seat. Claim a nearby table. Oh, we're reaching the ending. You're going for an hour and 15 minutes. I imagine it won't take more than 45 minutes. If it goes over the 2-hour mark I usually set, I'm going to go for another, hour at most. I'm going to be eating pizza, though, while this cutscene's happen. No, I have to talk? God damn it. Interesting. So this Tsukiyomi was summoned in much the same manner as Susanoo, via the medium of a sacred relic. That's right, they believe their gods or kami reside in physical objects. Given the danger they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalog of such relics. But if we are to contain the threats, we will require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to the Doma and learn what I can on the subject. I'm gonna take a drink. Talking. I don't talk as much. Okay. Fine idea. And I know for a fact that our friends in Doma would be grateful for any information which could only help prevent further summoning in the region. I'll pen you a letter of introduction. Lord Keene will wish to welcome our resident expert on aetherology. Greetings. Could it be that I am in time for tea? Certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigations went. From the looks of it, these are the 4 core members that are still planning things. Yuanji seems content staying at base. Alphina is obviously off an adventure. And Lise left the Scions. So, I guess this is the 4 left. After you left, I went about questioning Bloodo's gravekeepers. They all told much the same story. Once Lise and her officers had confirmed Xenos dead, his corpse was interred under strict supervision. So there seems little reason to doubt their testimony on that point, but when I mentioned the defacement of Xenos' grave, accounts grew rather more vague. None reported having seen any suspicious person in the vicinity, and all assumed the act had been perpetrated by a vengeful Alamean. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offended skull was removed, as per Lisa's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like the corpse has already been missing. Assuming Xenos has not, in fact, risen from the dead, we're left with 2 possibilities. Either the body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of an extremely committed imposter, or an Ascian has taken up the residence within it. If Asahi was as fervent as a devout as you believe, he would not have been fooled by an impersonation, however committed. We must assume that we are dealing with the Ascian and proceed accordingly. Agreed. The question is, how many more such monsters are waiting for Alphino and Garlemald? Her presence was their chief reason for going. He understood the risks. I only hope that he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation. Chomp. Meanwhile, on the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft, damn you. Hold on. Okay. Master Alpha, no. We are making good speeds towards our destination is Artemis. Nay, it is just I can see not from my cabin and was curious to know the lands over which we flew. I'm afraid our military craft are built with little thought for such niceties. I am happy to indulge your curiosity, however, we are presently passing over the burn on the western edge of the Othard. Even with the benefit of a porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but mounds upon mounds of lifeless earth. I have written something of the burn. It was described as a desolate wasteland, bled dry of every last drop of ether. It is believed that the succession of icon summoning was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Othard and beheld this blight, he is said to have reeled the scale of the devastation. He declared icons a threat to our very star's existence and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities. Are we being attacked? Reports! Under attack, sir. Magitech. Armor, no visible designation. Magitech, but who? All cannons, return fire. Damage report. The main reactor's been hit. Helm unresponsive. We were going down, sir. Damn it, they knew exactly where to hit us. All hands, brace for impact. Oh. Glad to have you back, Master Alpha. We have landed in one piece, more or less. But the air filtration system is damaged and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather the survivors and get out of here while we still can. Aye. What is this? We're going in to... What the fuck? The kind of battle you'll fight is Alpha now. This never happens. Okay. Actually, I might ask you to search for survivors. I will see you to our injured. I enjoy games that attempt this. I enjoy a lot of games that have multiple characters being controlled. I know this game really doesn't have like a lot of room for that, even though it's incredibly possible given that each NPC, each like the scions that we work with are based off actual classes. For example, the summoner class right here. So it's interesting. What do these do? Deals unaspected damage with 200 so ruin, psychic for healing. Tri-shock, deal unaspected damage with a potency of 30 to target and all enemies nearby it. That's the possibility of binding. I don't think I can do much else. I think that's all he has. Command is unavailable this time. Okay. So I'm playing as Alpha now. I've wasted time, obviously, but I'm just gonna, for the most part, looking for search, destroy airship wreckage. Urban. This is interesting. You. Revive the wounded soldier. Oh, thanks. I don't think I would have made it. Okay. This, you very likely saved his life. Question of... Oh god. What left you of the misery? The prince wishes none left alive. The prince? Oh no. Not come here to parley, I fear. Ready for your weapons. For a bit. I'm doing like absolutely no damage. Alright. Found it. Not here. Not like this. Come on. What? Who in the Empire's name? Enemies are enemies. Introduction can wait. You are calm in this crisis, Smash Aphino. Let's finish this then. Alright, Jackal. I wish you had a bit more better abilities. I will say, well, this is interesting playing Alpha now. I wish they gave him like a bit more abilities than just the 4. Not even the 4, like there's 3 of them here. One of them is damn near useless against these big things. One of them is healing, which is fine, but I don't think this thing will get dangerous for that to come in too much play. And then this singular attack spell. I wish there was a bit more variation. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Your intervention proved most timely. Well, well. I do not think to meet an Erosian in this place, let alone a Scion. You know of me, sir. I have some small history with your order. You want to know the loot codes? But I should speak with the presence now. Know your assailants and the severity of the predicament. Soldiers bore the insignia of the Emperor's personal guard. And I could venture a guess as to their motive, but you yet to have us at a disadvantage, sir. Will you not tell us who you are? Our names are not yours for the asking. As for our purpose, let this be your answer. Assia mask. The face of our prey. We must away before more arrive. Come with us. Come with us or stay, but make your choice now. Even should we manage the long trek out of the burn and secure passage to the capital, we would no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed, we accept your gracious offer, huh? Shadow Hunter will suffice for the present. Oh shit. Please give me a voice cutscene next. Alright, 1 second. Take a drink. There. This is intolerable. But as much as I wish it were otherwise, there is nothing we can do for Alpha now but pray for his success. Well, that is not entirely true. While your brother journeys to Garlemald from the east, I would make my way make my way there from Alamigo and find out what there is to learn in the Empire's western provinces. I'm not coming with you. I can't very well sit here sipping tea if there's action to be taken. Forgive me, I say, but the provinces are hostile territory and stealth is all important. It is safer that I go alone. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. I'll go with him. How exactly would you be any better? You know you're not wrong. I must refuse your company as well, my friends. Formidable though you are, the success of the mission depends on moving unnoticed, unless you forget you have grown rather famous. I trust you understand. What? I've only saved like 5 nations. It's fine. Fine, just promise you'll be careful. I wonder if it's gonna do what I think it's gonna do. I have the impression that we might end up like all splitting up and doing things, and it's gonna start becoming an interweaved story. Seems that praying is to be the sense of contribution after all, but I will stay behind as I have been bid. We all have our talents. Mine just happens to involve a silver tongue and soft souls. I promise this in word when the moment I learn aught of consequences. See that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Dome as soon as I find a suitable Eastern Aldenard vessel to bear me thither, but I shall return if I am needed. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Broford. With any luck, I'll have painfully detailed report from Alpha to share. What is this? Ponder. I don't think I can use this one. I don't use facial emotes. You'll learn the emote Ponder. Cool, I'll never use it. Sisterly act. Elisa is impatiently fussing with her link pearl. Okay. We've entered this, I guess. Well, Broford, if you come here from here hoping for news, I'm afraid there isn't any. Everything's exactly as it was. Still investigating primals in the Far East. Thancred is still gathering intelligence in the Imperial provinces, and Alphino is still out there somewhere. No word since his first scheduled reports, nor does he respond to calls, and all the while I'm just meant to sit around here waiting. It's driving me mad. Begging your pardons, I bear a message from the Erosian Alliance. Thank the gods for that. We have a visitor. Alright, which primal will summon this time? Welcome to the Rising Stones. If you have a message, I'm most eager to hear it. My lady, the Alliance leadership will soon convene to discuss the matter of Ascian interference. And they humbly request the presence of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Okay, that's good enough. Having assessed intelligence provided by the Alamegan resistance concerning the whereabouts of Xenos' remains, they do suspect Ascian involvement in which to deliberate a suitable course of action. As the foremost authorities on our foe, your orders, Council, would be most welcome. Of course, we should be glad to assist in whatever we can. With almost everyone else afield, I say this one falls to us, by which I mean I'm not going on my own. You'll come with me, I trust. Yeah, there we go. There you have it. We accept the invitation. Thank you. The time and date of the meeting will be shared in due course, but I can confirm that the council will take place in Alamigo by your leave. I take it that they're inviting Alamigo to the Alliance then. And so is Doma. That'd be interesting. I somewhat doubt we'll have anything useful to offer, but standing late to a meeting would still be better than nothing I've been doing around late. Let's make ready to depart, shall we? Thancred, what's going on, man? Alright, just be careful on the road back here. Did I hear right, Royal? Is Thancred coming back? Aye, that he is. Says he's acquired some important intelligence. Being in Garlean territory, though, he couldn't risk sharing the particulars in case the Imperials were listening, so he said we'd be back as quick as he could to make sure someone was waiting for him in the Alamegin quarter. Understood. Broford and I will go. We're bound for Alamegin anyway, and there's sure to be time before the council begins. Come, let's be off. I need to look at the wider world. So, Othard and Hingashi, so basically Doma and Alamigo are around these parts, I believe. Right? No, Doma is up here, I believe. Girabanya. Yeah, Alamigo is... let me look at this again. Alamigo. Okay. So Alamigo can easily join the Eorzean Alliance, I would say, given it's all one big... They're all next to each other and such. To a lesser extent, it would be harder, but Doma could join. They're not really on the same continent, though. Like, they're not anywhere near the same continent. But yeah, I imagine that the Alamigo might join them. Black Shroud, Mordona, Thanlin, Lenosha, Korthus, Stravonia. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Mordona is sort of part of Thanlin? What's in Mordona? I think Mordona was very specific, right? Mordona's that... Oh, I know where Mordona's. Mordona's that little pocket of where we are, basically. It's where the Scions live. Okay. At this point, we're gonna have most of the world against Garlemald. Depends. Hold on. If Garlemald exists in like this whole area up here, then that's a thing. What is this? Oh, there's Garlemald right there. Yeah. If Garlemald is basically this whole area up here, like a giant-ass continent, then it would lend credence to them being able to easily just like being able to like fight the world the way they have. Somewhere specific. Back here. Where is he? Zooming in. It's over here. Sort of. There he is. What up? What'd you find? You two are Savisoras. Now all I need is water from my parched throat. Fetch me a couple of you. Traipsing through the Imperial territory is thirsty work.
God, I needed that.
Finally, voice acting.
I won't bother telling you to catch your breath. Whatever brought you galloping back to us, I assume it's urgent.
Quite. Without further ado, then.
Alright.
After the successful uprisings in Doma and Alamigo, rebels in several other provinces were inspired to follow suit. Unfortunately, they did not fare quite so well. The Dalmascans paid the heaviest price. For their defiance, the Emperor made a show of razing their capital to the ground, prompting many of their neighbors to abandon thoughts of resistance. But not all have given up on liberty. Heartened by the news of Doma's prisoner exchange, some still believe that the Empire may one day be amenable to negotiation. We have the shinobi to thank for spreading the good word. They have worked tirelessly to keep the subjugated informed, and a little knowledge can go a long way.
There is at least a spark of hope, then.
A spark in want of kindling, yes. The Alliance has already begun supplying materiel to resistance movements abroad, many of whom would otherwise struggle to continue the fight. The support effort has been led by the Sultana and the Elder Seedseer, who have both seen enough Alamigan refugees to know the consequences of oppression. And for their troubles, they have quickly earned a reputation as folk heroes in certain corners of the Empire. That is all for the provinces. As for the Garlean motherland itself, our friends the Populares have suffered something of a setback, I regret to say. Talk is rife that Doma has summoned a primal, and the Empire's more liberal voices are being drowned out in the fearful clamor for retribution.
And who do they think orchestrated this summoning?
Oh, any but those truly responsible. Xenos has seen to that. Speaking of whom, the Crown Prince is recovering remarkably well. Well enough, in fact, to enable him to personally tour the provinces, putting the fear of the Emperor into the hearts of any would-be dissidents.
He walks in plain sight, and none suspect him. Then it's as we feared.
Yes. An Ascian wears his skin. But it was not that which brought me here in such haste. During my time in the provinces, I learned many things. Yet at no point did I hear any report of a Doman emissary in the capital.
But Alphonse should have arrived by now. Could they be holding in there in secret?
The possibility did cross my mind, but I have reason to believe he never reached his destination. As you know, scions assigned to covert operations, such as Riol and myself, are issued special link pearls for communication in the event of an emergency. I mention this because it was originally Alphino's task to coordinate the response at headquarters, meaning he has one. And whose voice should I hear when mine recently crackled to life?
You spoke with Alphino?
Spoke with, no. I but heard his voice, and none too clearly at that. 2 words were all I could make out. The burn.
The wasteland on the edge of Otherd. Something must have happened to them there. There's no time to waste. We must make for the burn at once.
I had a feeling you might say that.
And? I can't very well sit around here drinking tea if Alphino's in trouble. You said yourself that this link pill was only to be used in emergencies. So I'm going, and that's the end of it.
Oh, far be it from me to change your minds.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember hearing anything about link pearls prior to this whole thing. Is it a recent invention for this to like moving forward, or is it always been in existence and I just never recognized it? Though I am to neglect making preparations with the council, we must act swiftly before Alphino Trails goes cold. I propose we first pay Hina a visit. I'm sure to what to hear about these developments, and he may well be able to advise us. A sound plan, and she still isn't done with, is she not? I dare say she'd join you in the search if you asked her nicely. While you see to all that, I shall go and report my findings to the Alliance. You may leave any preparation for the council to me. Okay, so Thancred's going to handle the Alliance. That's actually probably smarter. I know LSA is capable in diplomacy to an extent, but I feel like Thancred has a much longer history and probably knows a lot more about the organization than LSA does. Thank you, Thancred. Right to Doma then, Misha. We have much more to share with Yashila. Yeah. I might be mistaken. I think LSA, the only reason that she's not carries any, not that she doesn't carry weight inside the Scions, but I feel like she's like one of the newer members until like something comes about that proves her a bit more, I guess, competent. I don't know. If like there was a ranking of the Scions, she would probably be one of the lower ones in like terms of like who people would choose for like diplomacy or doing anything really. Not that she isn't useful or no one wants her around. It's just that there are more capable people for the tasks and who have been in the organization longer. Like Thancred's very good spy, but also could probably talk his way around in negotiation of it or like an alliance meeting. Shola definitely, and so good. And that Alphino's experience in intelligence minds makes him jump ahead of LSA in that regard. At least that's my take on it. Pistola. This is curious indeed. While the matters demand my attention at present, I shall bear what you have told me in mind. Should you notice any change, do not hesitate to seek me out. Thank you, my lady. You are most kind. Oh, two faces from the dim and distant past. Come now, it hasn't been that long. Who was that you were speaking with? A local miner who supplies crystals for the rebuilding efforts. Of late, he claims to have struggled to find a crystal with so much as trace of elemental energy. Upon learning that I had some knowledge of Aether, he came seeking my counsel. Just now, he brought me one of his recent finds. It was precisely as he described, devoid of elemental energy, but eerily reminiscent of the despected crystals that manifested in early the days prior to the calamity. We would be wise to investigate this phenomenon more closely. Indeed, but on a more positive note, the locals seem to have taken a liking to you. More an interesting in than a liking to, I think. The sight of Amakote with a particular contraption upon her head has a certain novelty value in these parts, and any actual regards that may have for me I owe wholly to you and the others who have come before. Everyone here has been exceedingly cooperative, and I am pleased to report that I have all but concluded my investigation. You don't really have a contraption on your head, though. Simply put, by focusing one's will upon the aether-infused object of worship, it is possible to conduct a summoning. So the fact that their objects of worship is the key, they are themselves suffused with their requisite belief. Sorry. Correct. Such sacred relics as the Goshen collect obviate the need for religious fervor in the summoner. Yosia being the most obvious example. She had but to associate the artifact given to her by Asahi with the divine, and it served to amplify her desires and give them form. A form nourished through the power of crystals, also provided by her brother, and thus was Tsukiyomi brought into being. So they skipped the belief system, effectively. Which brings me to the question of preventative measures, to which I have yet to find a satisfactory answer. At present, I know of naught that will avail us, save to keep watch over the movement of the relics and crystals, as if we did not have enough to keep watch over already. But I doubt you come all this way to hear that which may be perused in a report. Has something happened to Alpha now? He's in the burn. Which, funny enough, was just a snowy land. I shall join you in the search, of course. Thank you, Estella. I should be glad of your help, truly. Now, if there's nothing else, I shall go ahead and request an audience with Lord Hien. I'd say put on a brave face, but she has little talent for concealment. We should join her at the Hien-Con. Greetings, my friend. Elsa has explained all to me. Needless to say, you shall have our full cooperation in search, even if Alphina's trail does not lead to the burden of all places. Money! No, I want money. Give me money. One day I'll sell all of my bags. Hien is mulling over the details of Alphina's Link Pearl Coal. Feel the Burn. That's a fun little name for a quest. The region known as the Burn occupies a special place in Garland history. Every child in the Empire is familiar with the tale. In the distant past, it was a verdant land teeming with life, but a successful summoning saw it bleed dry of ether and reduced to a desert. It was upon beholding the devastation that Primals had brought the Emperor Solus was spurred to embark upon his crusade against their kind. The Burn offers a glimpse of the future we seek to prevent. Knew you of any reason why Alphenor might have gone there? Aye, mischance, though it lies on the route to Garlemald, it is no place to make a stop. My guess is they encountered some manner of trouble there. In any event, I am of the same mind as Ilse. We have no choice but to take our search to the Burn, given the considerable distance involved. It's best we went by bird. I go by dragon. Broford and I have our Yules. Yuri will have. You had your. I don't have a Yule. Your Black Falcons for the others. I shall gather us as birds. Near the House of Fierce, there is an overlook. Pray join us there once you have seen your preparations. Do I have a Yule? Oh, should I go magic tech? Oh, I do have a Yule. But I'm going to stick with this one. Midgard Summer, the best. Does that mean we're gonna unlock a new location? I don't think patch quests really unlock new locations. So unless this is like a temporary location we're going to for cutscenes worth and like battles, I would say something might go wrong. Watch, he's above me. Please be nearby where I'm going. Please. Please. See above ground. He's 32Y. So he's above. Jesus Christ. Oh, he's just like, just right above. Okay. Thank God. They've been here and possessed a bird that us away. Remember, our destination is a barren wasteland. There is no civilization to speak of for hundreds of realms in all directions. Take care you do not lose your way. The burn. Oh, this is a full-on thingamajig. But unfortunately, we have reached the 2-hour mark. And so I'm actually going to call it there and hopefully acquire some allies to do this again with. Maybe Josh would come in. I might be able to grab K-Sock. But if not, it's fine. So I think we're pretty close nearing the end of the patch quests. I imagine if I might make the next one an extra long stream if it's if I feel like I'm getting close. And then we'll be on to Shadowbringers. See you around for the next time. Bye.